So here's the question. We want to find the total surface area, and that's like painting the whole thing. What's the total area to paint the whole thing? We've got a cylinder on top of a rectangular prism, and we already wrote down that we're going to find the total surface area of each shape separately, and then we're going to subtract the parts that wouldn't get painted. So let's start with our cylinder. Let's redraw it. Yeah, we started it, but we'll do it again. So we know that the height of our cylinder is 6. And if it's 3 all the way across, or 5 all the way across, the radius would be half of 5, which will be 2.5. Because the radius goes from the center out. So we know that. Now we go to our formula sheet, and our formula sheet says the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r. I think your formula sheet uses a capital H. So now you just have to plug in the numbers. Radius is 2.5. That would get squared. Plus 2 pi. Radius is 2.5. And our height is 6. Take out our calculator. $133.5, and that's what we got yesterday. Okay, I'm going to leave some space on that one because we're going to have to do step 2 with that. We're going to have to subtract something. We'll draw a line, and now we'll do the second shape. The second shape in this question is a rectangular prism. Looks something like that. The dimensions that we know on here, 5, 10, and 12. This is 5, this is 10, this is 12. Again, we go to our formula sheet for the rectangular prism and write out our surface area. 2 LW plus 2 length times height plus 2 height times width. And now we have to decide. Looking at the picture, which number makes you think of height? Yeah, go ahead. Yes, you'll get your formula sheet for the test. No, it doesn't matter which shape you do first. Yeah. So if you did the bottom one. In fact, on the test, I'm going to break it up. I'm going to have part A, find the surface area of the cylinder. Part B, find the surface area of just the prism. And then in part C, I'll say, when they're put together, what's the total surface area? So I'll break it up on your test that way. Okay, height, would you go with 5 for the height? Which one do you want as length? 12 for the length, 10 for the width? Okay, so 12 for the length, 10 for the width, 12 for the length, 5 for the height, 5 for the height, 10 for the width. It's not bad when you're plugging things in to label these. We decided that was our height, this was our width, that was our length, so that when you actually plug them in, you don't get mixed up which values were which. $460. So this is the total surface area of the cylinder, and this is the total surface area of the prism. Now we can go back to our instructions because we have done step 1. We found the total surface area of each shape separately. Now remember when I did that with the Kleenex box and this gold cylinder? What's missing from the gold cylinder when I take them apart? I'd have to subtract a circle. And what's missing from the rectangular prism when I take off the cylinder? A circle as well. So on both of these, for step 2, we need to subtract a circle. So I'm going to write that here. How big is a circle? What's the area of a circle? Circle area formula. Check your formula sheet. Or do you have it memorized? Someone have their formula sheet handy? Because it's important to make sure you can find it. Because on a test, you're going to be looking on your formula sheet. Where's the area of a circle? Pi r squared for a circle. So the area of one circle will be pi 2.5 squared. We type that into our calculator. And we get 19.6. Yeah, make sure you square that 2.5. Times 2.5 times 2.5. Well, 2.5 times 2.5, that's not 5. 2.5 times 2 is 5. Okay? 2.5 times 2.5 is 6.25. And then you go from there and times that by 3.14, and it will be just a little bit more than 19. Okay? The same thing on the second one. We're going to have to subtract a circle. It's the same size, right? So I'll just put it in brackets. It's going to be another 19.6. So at the bottom here, I'm going to write my total surface area is going to equal the 133.5, but then I have to subtract 19.6, plus the 460, but I need to subtract a 19.6 off of there as well. Type this whole thing into our calculator. And we get 554.3. So on your quiz tomorrow, part A will say either the cylinder or the rectangle, find the surface area of that first. Then part B will say find the surface area of the other one second. And then part C will say think about what you have to subtract when it's put together. What would the surface area be when it's put together?